You're standing inside a casino in Vegas. You're not gambling, just looking around, watching where the money moves. And here's the strange part nobody really explains. A casino is the only legal business on the planet where math guarantees you a profit on every single dollar that walks through the door. It's also the business where billionaires keep going bankrupt anyway. And it's not because they're bad gamblers. Both of those are true at the same time. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how that's possible, how casinos actually make money on the inside, why having a mathematical edge on every single bet still isn't enough to guarantee a profit, and why a casino isn't really the business most people think it is. Casinos come in 3 completely different sizes, and they're 3 completely different businesses. A small regional casino in Colorado costs $2 to $5 million. For that money, you get a few dozen slot machines, a couple of tables, a bar, and a parking lot that fills up on the 1st of every month with locals losing their grocery money. That's the entry level. A mid-sized property costs $500 million to $1 billion. Think the Borgata in Atlantic City, opened in 2003 for $1.1 billion. Real hotel, real restaurants, customers driving in from neighboring states. And then there's the Vegas Strip, where the price tag starts getting silly. The Cosmopolitan opened in 2010 for $3.9 billion. Still the most expensive resort ever built on the Strip. But here's the part nobody warns you about. The building isn't even the most expensive part. The first hidden cost is the license itself. In Vegas, that's around $770,000 a year. In New York, just applying for the license costs $20 to $50 million, with no guarantee you'll get it. You're basically buying a lottery ticket where the prize is permission to spend a few more billion. The second hidden cost is geopolitics. Macau in southern China is the biggest casino market on earth, $28 billion in 2024, 3 times the entire Vegas Strip. But the Macau government issues exactly 6 concessions for the whole city. The next round of bidding isn't until 2032. So if you want into Macau, you wait 7 years and compete against companies bigger than yours. Or, and this is a real option, you go to North Korea. Kim Jong-un is currently looking for an investor to finish the Rugyong Hotel in Pyongyang, a 105-floor building they started in 1987 and somehow haven't finished in 38 years. Pay for the interior, you get the casino license. Estimated cost, another $2 billion on top of the $750 million already buried in it. Even the most isolated dictatorship on earth understands something about this industry. A casino is just a foreign currency vacuum with a roof on it. Okay, setup done. Now, the question that actually matters, where does the money come from? Every single game in a casino is mathematically rigged, not in a cheating sense. The cards are real. The wheel is honest. The dice are clean. It's the rules that are rigged. The structure of every single game guarantees that the casino wins more than the player, over time. Always. The industry has a name for this. The house edge. Easiest way to picture it. Imagine you bet on a coin flip with the casino. Heads, you win $1. Tails, the casino takes $1. That's a fair bet. 0 edge. Now the casino changes one rule. Heads still pays you $1, but tails, the casino takes $1.05. Same coin, same flip. Boring difference on any single bet. But over 1,000 flips? 10,000 flips? Catastrophic. That extra 5 cents is the house edge. Every casino game is just a different version of the same trick. Roulette is the cleanest example. European roulette has 37 numbers, 0 through 36. If you bet $100 on a single number and you win, the casino pays you $3,500. But the actual odds of hitting your number are 36 to 1, not 35 to 1. So you should have been paid $3,600. That missing $100 every time someone wins. That's the house's cut. Looks like nothing on one bet. Now multiply it by 1,000 players a day, every day, for 30 years. And here's where it gets interesting. American roulette, same wheel, same payout, same rules, except they added one extra slot, the 00. By adding one single pocket, the casino doubled its edge from 2.7% to 5.26%. The player at the table cannot tell the difference. The wheels look identical from across the room. The math notices every single time. But roulette isn't where the money actually lives. The real story is slots. Slot machines run a house edge of 5 to 15%. And here's the part that breaks people's brains the first time they hear it. The cheaper the machine, the higher the edge. Penny slots, the ones Grandma feeds her change into all afternoon. Those are running 12 to 15% per dollar wagered. Grandma at the penny slots is statistically the most profitable customer in the entire building. She's giving the casino 30 times more per dollar than a millionaire playing blackjack at the high-limit table, where the edge is just 0.5%. This is why, if you walk onto any Vegas Strip casino floor, the first thing you'll see is a sea of slot machines. In 2024 alone, slot machines brought the Strip $4.9 billion, more than every table game combined. Okay, so that's the math. Now, the architecture. You've probably been in a casino at some point. Notice anything missing? There are no windows anywhere. There are no clocks on the walls. The carpet patterns are subtly designed to push your eyes upward toward the slot machines. The walk from any table to the exit deliberately passes 10 more rows of slots just in case you have anything left in your pocket. The industry has a term for all of this: engineered immersion. The goal isn't to win your money once. The goal is to keep you inside, with no time reference, until the math has time to do its work. You can feel this yourself if you pay attention. You walk into the Bellagio at 2 in the afternoon. You walk out at 6 in the evening. You swear maybe 45 minutes have passed. And then there's the most surgical customer retention system ever invented in any industry: the Players Club card. When you walk into a casino, they offer you a free card. You insert it into slot machines. You hand it to dealers. And from that moment on, every single bet you make is tracked. From that data, they calculate something called your theoretical loss. Bet $10,000 over an evening at a 5% edge. Your theoretical loss is $500. The casino then gives you back 5 to 10% of that number. Free dinner, free hotel room, free drinks. In 2024 alone, Vegas Strip casinos gave away $4.4 billion in this stuff. They didn't lose that money. They invested it. Every comp is a calculated expense to keep you in the building, so the math has more time to work on you. And at the very top of this pyramid sit the whales. Roughly 0.1% of all casino customers account for over 25% of total casino revenue. 1 in 1,000 customers generates a quarter of the entire industry's money. A good example: Dana White, president of the UFC. He plays $25,000 per hand at blackjack. He won $2 million one weekend at the Palms, came back the next month, won another $1.6 million. The casino banned him. Caesars and Bellagio still let him play, though. Why? Because the rest of the time, whales lose enormous amounts of money. The math always wins eventually. The whale always comes back. That's why a casino will fly a whale on a private jet from anywhere in the world. Give them the penthouse for free. Send a Michelin chef to their suite. Spending $500,000 to host one whale for the weekend is perfectly rational when their expected loss is $10 million. So here's the whole revenue model. One sentence: house edge, multiplied by volume, multiplied by time, multiplied by repeat visits. And every single thing in the building exists to maximize one of those 4 numbers. The cocktail waitresses, the cheap buffets, the free shows, the lights, the colors, the carpets that don't let you find the exit. Every single one of them is a multiplier. So with all this guaranteed math, billions in revenue, customers literally engineered to lose, why do casino owners ever lose money themselves? This is the question the math doesn't answer for you. The short answer: everything else. Out of every dollar of gaming revenue, about 70 to 80 cents disappears before you see anything. A typical strip casino runs on a 25 to 33% net margin. So out of $1 billion in revenue, you keep around 250 to 330 million. Where does the rest go? About a third disappears into payroll. A strip resort employs 3,000 to 8,000 people. Another big chunk goes to taxes. Nevada is friendly. 6.75% of gaming revenue. Macau takes 40% off the top. Pennsylvania takes over 50% on slots. And then there's the stuff most people never think about: the cost of the casino actually being a casino. A Vegas property has more cameras per square meter than most prisons. Every table, every cashier, every escalator, every parking spot, on 24/7 watch, with a separate surveillance department that does nothing else. Then there are the cards. Every strip casino swaps fresh decks onto each table every 4 to 8 hours to prevent marking. Millions of brand new decks thrown out every single year. The Bellagio keeps over $150 million in physical cash inside the building at all times. The insurance and logistics for that alone cost millions. Drinks are poured by the tens of thousands every day. Not out of generosity. A slightly drunk gambler bets bigger, stays longer. Drunk gamblers also fall, fight, lose money they decide must be somebody else's fault, which is why casinos get sued more often than doctors and pay liability premiums that climb every year. The math gives you a guaranteed top line. Everything below it is a fistfight. That fistfight is where most casino owners actually lose, and it has a small set of repeat patterns. Casinos can fail for a lot of reasons, but two mistakes show up over and over. Almost every famous casino bankruptcy in modern history boils down to one of them. Mistake 1. Too much debt. In 1990, Donald Trump, already a billionaire by every public estimate at the time, opened the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City, called it the 8th wonder of the world. He financed it with $675 million in junk bonds at 14% interest. Just to service the debt, the casino had to generate nearly $100 million a year before any other expenses at all. 6 months after opening, it missed its first bond payment. By 1991, it was in bankruptcy. The rule: don't build a casino on debt that needs the building to be perfect from day one. No casino is perfect from day one. Mistake 2. Wrong product for the market. This one has killed a lot of buildings. In 2012, a $2.4 billion property called Revel opened in Atlantic City. It was built for Wall Street executives instead of bus trip retirees. They banned smoking on the gaming floor. No buffet, no players club. In the gambling world, that's roughly like opening a fitness club and banning sweat. The hedge fund crowd never showed up. The retirees they had alienated never came. Revel closed 2 years later, sold for $82 million, 3 cents on the dollar. In 2016, the Lucky Dragon opened off the Vegas Strip, a $160 million boutique casino built entirely for Asian customers. Asian language signage, feng shui interiors, no fourth floor. Turns out Asian high rollers who flew all the way to Vegas wanted Vegas. The fountains, the spectacle, the chaos. Not a smaller version of what they had left at home. Lucky Dragon closed 14 months later, sold for $36 million. If you're going to build a $2 billion building, make sure somebody actually wants to be inside it. Step back for a second. The economics of this industry are paradoxical. A casino has the most reliable revenue mechanism in business. There's no other industry where the math guarantees the top line so cleanly. A bakery doesn't know how many croissants it'll sell tomorrow. A casino knows almost exactly how much its slot machines will hold this year, give or take a few percent. And yet, even billionaires who own casinos go bankrupt at rates that would embarrass a tech startup. Why? Because the math only works at scale. And over time, every casino takes years to pay back its construction. The house edge is rigid. You can't raise it in a bad year, which means everything outside the math has to also be perfect. Your debt, your costs, your country, your timing. The mathematical floor is bulletproof. Everything you build on top of it isn't. The whole industry is essentially the same trade. Guaranteed revenue against unguaranteed everything else. Time to pull it all together and answer the actual question. How much money do you make if you do this right? 2 scenarios. Real numbers. Scenario 1, $5 million, Colorado. A small regional casino. Annual gaming revenue around $10 million. After all operational costs, your real profit is around $2 million a year. Payback period, 3 years. Not glamorous, not exciting, but also recession resistant. The most boring American business with the word casino in it. Scenario 2, $1 billion, Las Vegas. A full strip resort, 2,000 hotel rooms, 100 tables, 3,000 slot machines. Annual revenue, $900 million. And here's a fun fact almost nobody catches. Only 1/3 of that comes from gambling. The other 2/3 is hotel rooms, restaurants, shows, conventions. A modern strip casino is barely a casino. It's a resort that uses gambling as the loss leader to pull customers in. Net profit after everything, $250 million a year. Add another 50 if your engineered immersion is really dialed in. Payback period, 4 years. then you're earning $300 million a year. And if you survive long enough, you become something specific. Sheldon Adelson started buying casinos in 1988. By the time he died in 2021, he was worth $35 billion, one of the largest fortunes in American history. His company, Las Vegas Sands, makes around $32 million in revenue every single day. Every single day. More than the entire annual revenue of most U.S. casinos combined. That's what 30 years of compounding mathematical edge looks like. You walk out of a Vegas casino different. You haven't lost money. You haven't even gambled. Just a little quieter, because once you see how the building actually works, you can't unsee it. Every slot machine, every cheap drink, every comped buffet, every free show. None of them are gifts. They're all line items in a spreadsheet you'll never see, calculated against a number you'll never know. Maximizing 4 variables that exist solely to extract more hours from your day. A casino is the only legal business in the world where math guarantees a profit on every single dollar that walks through the door. And the smartest operators still go bankrupt because they forget the math is just the floor. Everything you build on top of it isn't. So here's the rule of the whole industry. One sentence. The house always wins. Just make sure you're the house. And if you're not the house, at least understand the rules of the game you keep walking into. There's another business that runs on almost the same math as a casino. Same kind of mathematical floor, same engineered immersion, same calculated comps to keep you spending. But you pay it $15 a month from your couch, and you don't even realize you're playing. That's the next video.